I got a request specifically for this show. Somebody was asking me about paintball vests and, hey, can you do a review about vests? And okay, I am not exactly an expert on vests, but I've used a lot of them over the years, like this one of my favorites, the old ICS vest, which I would show you, but I don't have it with me. It's in storage right now. But a lot of people are, when they go to scenario games, they're saying, oh, dude, you need to have a vest in order to do this, because you got so much stuff you got to carry and so on and so forth. But I do want to show you guys a couple of alternatives, a couple of things that you can look for, what I would recommend that you seek when you're looking at buying paintball gear like vests. And actually, I'm holding one of the things right now that's a good alternative. Answer a question real fast. When you play a scenario game of paintball, what do you have to carry with you on the field? If your first answer was paintballs, then you might not be a vest kind of guy. You might not need one. And actually, that's why I'm carrying this. This is a good alternative to the vest. Now, granted, it's just a 3-pod on a belt, and a lot of people would say, oh, that's what all the newbies wear, but I'm a minimalist. If I can get away with just wearing this when I go play, this makes me happy, because it's minimal weight, there's not a lot of stuff on it, and because I don't wear a cup, I'm protected. One piece of advice, though, if you are going to wear the belt buckle like this, if it's got a hard plastic buckle like this, you want to put the buckle off to the side, or maybe even a little bit off to the back. Reason is you don't want to have a hard target facing right in front of you, so that it's one less thing that a ball can break on. Option number 2, and this is something probably more like what you're used to seeing. This is a standard pod pack. This one's from Flurry. They used to sponsor the WebDog show, so I still use their gear. It's still good stuff. Now, the one thing about this is that it doesn't have any spare pockets. It doesn't have anything that you can carry off to the side. This is extremely minimalist. It's just 4 pods on the back, and you're done. And this is what most people are going to wear at a scenario game anyway. So this is pretty standard stuff, but we can do better. Now let's start talking about the vest. This is my old Flurry vest. You guys might remember this from the old WebDog series. One thing about vests, that when you invest in one of these things, pardon the pun, you really kind of want to do a little bit of homework, and you also want to try to figure out what exactly it is you're going to need to carry on a scenario field, or if you're a big game field or whatever. And the other thing about these things too is that if you're a bigger person, you're going to have to make some special considerations. For example, in this case, the Flurry vest is actually in 2 parts. What he's done is there's a front part and there's a back part. And being a really big guy, because I'm really tall, what I had to do was I have a Velcro extension from one to the other so that it fits over my shoulders and fits me correct. Now we start getting to the reason I was asking, well, what do you need to carry when you go onto a scenario field? Because paint is just part of the equation. You don't actually need paintballs to play scenario paintball. I've proven that many times myself. But the one thing you are going to have to carry is an ID card. And this is where this is a good place to hold it right here, right in the front, so that it's nothing that you have to mess with. You don't have to reach in your shirt or something and start, fumbling with it. A lot of scenario games also give you a character ID card that gives you sort of a character that you're playing for the game, and you have to carry both with you at the same time. So you put your player ID card here, you put your character card here, you're done. The other thing is you've also got a whole bunch of other pockets that you can carry other things, like you can carry mission cards, you can carry paintball grenades. And also this one in particular, and almost all the vests, they have a pocket in the back so that you can put a Camelback type water pouch in your pack so that you can carry around with you on the field. Because scenario games, you're going to be on the field maybe 2-3 hours at a time. You're not going to go back to your car if you can help it. So you want to carry some water with you as you're playing. One thing you want to look for in vests, and this is a personal recommendation for me, is you want something that's modular. You want something that you can take apart and put it back together, reconfigure it your way. Now the Flurry vests, they do this with a big piece of Velcro on the back. And this actually Velcros right off and back on. The reason you want something that's modular like this is that sometimes in a scenario game you want to run as light as possible. So you might only go out there with like maybe 2 pods, or your role might change. You might have to carry something else. You might have to carry different things. So you can just rip this off the back and go, or you can stick something back on and just go on ahead. One thing about solid vests like this, that are solid Cordura type style vest, is that they don't breathe. So as you're playing, you're going to sweat. It's going to get you a lot hotter, a lot faster. The way that Flurry kind of gets around that is that they actually make it really thin in the front so that there's a lot more room for your arms to move, but it also gives you a lot less stuff on your body. But if you want something that's the ultimate in modular, you have to go MOLLE gear. Now this is the advantage of going with MOLLE gear. MOLLE gear. MOLLE gear is incredibly modular. You can switch, you can mix, you can match, you can do just about anything. Plus, you can buy products pretty much at any Army Navy store or online, and it's going to fit on the MOLLE gear. Now, unlike the other vest that I have, this one's actually mesh, so that it helps you breathe a little better. It helps you evaporate sweat, so it doesn't all get trapped in you. You don't get it hot in this thing. But the disadvantage is that, well, it's MOLLE gear, so everything's going to weigh a ton. This is a hybrid style pack. This is sort of the best between a vest and a pod pack without all the excessive weight. You're not going to carry as much as a vest, but you're going to carry more than you will with just a pod pack. This one has, of course, pockets on the side here, the other pocket on the other side, and also some MOLLE style on the shoulder straps. But it's also got the regular just pod pack in the back, and also you can carry a water bottle in this too. A bunch of companies are making stuff like this now. This one's, of course, Special Ops, because I got a lot of gear from them. And really, that's what you want to kind of ask yourself before you go out and look for buying or buy any of these products. You need to find out what you need to carry on the field, how much weight you want to carry on the field, and for that matter, what's your budget too, because some of these things can get quite pricey. So I hope I've answered the question, and at least given you somewhat of a review of the products that are available right now. There's a whole ton of products out there. As far as which one to buy and which one to not buy, I'm not going to tell you that, because my philosophy is still that you know better what you need rather than me. So I'll just throw a couple things out there like you've seen on the show already, so that you can decide for yourself what you think you might or might not want. I'm not an addict. I can quit anytime I want. Really, I can.